The Democrats are getting what they want, and they're pissed as Donald Trump is going out of his way to relocate illegal immigrants all throughout the United States. Yes, that's actually happening in our political discourse, and we're going to get into that plus a lot more. But before we do, I want to thank everyone who supports independent media. And now you could support us without even any money. If you're broke, like the majority of people out there, you could support us by downloading an internet browser, Brave, that is privacy focused and also works with cryptocurrencies. So if you use the platform, you actually earn cryptocurrencies, which you could even give a small portion of to your favorite creators. By downloading the link, by clicking on the link and downloading this privacy focused internet browser, you're able to actually support us. So I definitely hope you guys check that out. And I've been using Brave within the last 2 days, and I'm seriously impressed by it. I'm not chilling. It is affiliate code, but holy cow, it's a lot better than having every aspect of your life tracked, traced, and databased by the technocrats and Google and Chrome and the George Soros connected Mozilla. So if you have some time, definitely check out the Brave browser, and by doing so, you could support independent media. Now, moving to our main story, this, of course, is sparking a lot of debate all throughout the United States as Homeland Security under the Trump administration is sending out hundreds of migrants away from Texas and into Democratic strongholds, into districts where, of course, the politicians openly welcome illegal immigration, call for more illegal immigration, where politicians are saying, yes, but Trump is actually going through this, and a lot of them are pissed off, Jason. What do you make of this story, and what are some of the details that people should know about this?
Yeah, so all those people, Luke, that were telling me how Trump was playing 4D chess and he would never, ever, ever actually allow migrants to be shipped into the country were completely wrong. It's absolutely happening, and it is absolutely unbelievable seeing that his base wanted a wall. So when this happened, it's almost surreal. So we're going to play a clip of the news that shows that this is already happening throughout the country. Now, in a lot of cases, Luke, they're taking these people from border states, Texas, Southern California, for instance, and then they're shipping them to either Middle America or this plan, which right now Trump is saying he's not going to do. We'll get to that in a moment. But they were saying 500.
Not going to do with Florida, but migrants have already arrived in San Diego.
Yes, that's right. They have not gotten to Florida yet, but he was saying it was going to happen. Now, think about the logic here. I just want people to envision this. Florida, for the most part, is either encompassed by the United States or the ocean. There's no possible way for them to go back to Mexico. Now, at least if they're on Texas, the California border, they're part of a sanctuary community there, if things get rough enough, they could go back or they could be deported easily. We're going to make that much more difficult with this. Now, I want to play this here because I think it's so important to realize this is happening, Luke. It is in action.
Florida's governor said today he'll fight plans by the Trump administration to fly migrants from the Mexican border to his state. Migrants are already being flown to at least one other state, as we hear from Nikki Battiste.
With the surge of asylum seekers, ICE and Border Patrol are now flying migrants from the Rio Grande Valley in southern Texas to cities across the country. A scene that unfolded tonight in San Diego when 100 migrants arrived for processing. This comes one day after 2 South Florida counties were upset with a plan that would bring thousands of migrants there.
We cannot accommodate in Florida just dumping unlawful migrants into our state. I think
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
I think it'll tax our resources, the schools, the health.
Pause there. South Florida, specifically strongly Democratic districts, where, of course, a lot of them don't have the facility and resources to handle this, by the way. And, of course, we're getting new information that Trump actually called and talked to the Florida governor and promised them that this won't be coming to their state. But another important aspect that people need to understand here is that Donald Trump just in court won a very important decision that allows his administration, that allows Homeland Security to actually send back a lot of these asylum seekers, a lot of these illegal immigrants who have crossed the border. He is now lawfully, legally allowed to send them back into Mexico where they came from. He's not doing that this time. He's sending them into Democratic districts. What many people are calling a bigger political ploy here to divide left-wing activists and Democratic politicians who, of course, are at odds with each other, creating more of a kind of dichotomy where they infight, giving him, of course, more political power. That's what a lot of people are speculating, that this is the larger move behind Trump's actions here. Because, again, Trump doesn't need to do this. He could legally send them back, but he already sent a couple hundred to San Diego, where people were being processed and pretty much let off and saying, hey, yeah, you guys could wait here, as, of course, you're waiting to figure out your asylum case. This is pretty major, Jason.
It's huge. Let's continue with the clip because I have a huge point to make after we see Trump.
Healthcare, law enforcement, state agencies.
CBS News reached out to the Department of Homeland Security and the White House, but neither has responded. Though some of these are not sanctuary cities, Trump is boasting about moving migrants.
Now, we're sending many of them to sanctuary cities. Thank you very much. I'm proud to tell you that was actually my sick idea, but it's
Now let's stop.
His sick idea.
Well, not only that, let's think to ourselves. By the way, here's that Florida point. When we're going to put them into Florida, how are they ever going to get back to Mexico if not by sea? But let's substitute a man named Donald Trump for another man named Barack Obama. Now, had he stood up in front of the country and announced that he was actually shipping in illegals by plane, folks, how would the right have reacted? Do you think they would have cheered him when he said this was my sick idea? No, they would have been like, this is your sick idea. And they would have been outraged. However, this new Trumpism has now been conditioned that these actions are okay. This is insanity to me, Luke.
Yeah. Well, now mainly a lot of these Democratic districts are outraged, and they're saying, well, we don't have resources. This is going to tax our resources. This is going to take away money from our economy. And what about Texas? Texas is strained so much. There has been an influx of people crossing the border illegally, and there's been predominantly many Democratic politicians cheering it on. And now Trump is kind of sending these migrants, these illegals, these asylum seekers to their districts, and now they're like, oh, we don't want them. We never agreed with that. Who said that was that's something? That's what they did. And I'm hearing from a lot of Texas residents that they're very happy with this. But again, people need to understand here, if you're a conservative, Trump's doing the opposite of what you want here. He has the possibility of sending them back to Mexico, but he's pretty much agreeing with articles like this one by PBS that talk about how, hey, this is a great thing because a lot of these illegal immigrants are probably going to stay in these sanctuary cities that are there to help migrants. And they're most likely going to help increase the illegal immigration policy and the migrant policy all over the United States. So PBS is cheering this on. This is kind of a madman strategy that, again, goes counter to what everyone believes. And it's kind of showing you how politics is just a big, dirty play for power and nothing else. There's no morals, there's no values, there's no promises, there's no truth, there's no honesty, there's only power. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. I'm very curious what the audience kind of thinks the bigger. Do you guys agree with this? Where do you lie? Are you someone on the left? What do you think about this? And if you're someone on the right, I want to know what you think about this. I would really love a peer discussion on there. But Jason, this flips everything upside down.
Again, I don't know how this guy is going to be electable in 2020. I mean, I see how it's the weakness of the Democratic Party, but let's go over it. Everything he's promised, he has not delivered on. He promised us the truth about JFK, couldn't declassify those documents. He promised he was going to get us out of the Middle East. Hasn't done that. In fact, we're saber rattling against Iran. He also promised us comprehensive immigration reform and a wall. I would say shipping illegals from the border of Mexico, say in California or Texas, to other parts of the country is not comprehensive immigration reform. It's the complete opposite, and I'm sick of all these idiots out there that claim he's playing 4D chess. That's not what's happening. He's helping to destroy the country at this point.
Yeah, and then you could very much see that. I usually do a lot of videos about New York City, but you could very much see that in New York City that offers a slurry of resources and benefits and help to illegal immigrants. It's pretty much a major sanctuary city. It's going bankrupt. You look at the priority of the city, it's not with the people. The resources and benefits that they provide, they're absolute trash. And it's a big scheme. It's a big Ponzi scheme against the people. And sadly, a lot of immigrants are being used as a perfect ploy to divide and conquer people. And this is, and again, Jason, I kind of want to counter your point a little bit, because you're saying, how can Trump be elected? The bigger narrative that people are seeing here, the bigger strategy that people are seeing here, is that Trump is trying to show the true face of the Democrats and have them fight against left-wing activists. And a lot of people point to the fact that the left has pretty much gone pretty crazy, to the fact that the left, going as crazy as they are, creating so much fighting and infighting and always being unhappy, that this is going to create a situation where Trump will easily win re-election because of how fractured, because of the infighting, because of the insanity on the left wing. That's a train of thought that is out there that I do believe is worth entertaining.
Well, then at the end of the day, globalism wins, because not only do they get what they want, destabilizing America and more illegal immigration, but they get a fervent fan base believing that somebody else is going to change it for the better eventually, and that's not going to happen. Agree with me, agree with Luke. Do it in the comments. We're doing 4 videos a day across 2 platforms, News for a Change and We Are Change. Make sure you're subscribed, thumbing this video up, sharing it on social media, and also getting out there and being the change you want to see in the world.